So some of the levels of support I've experienced in using these other discount domain name and hosting providers, for example, some of them just have a forum and you can ask other users questions. And then sometimes if you can't get an answer from the other users, a real support person will come on and answer, but there's no way to contact anyone directly. So some of them have email support, and but like once it took me a whole week to get an answer to a question. I think I figured it out by myself by then. So of course some have phone support, like the one I'm currently using, but usually some or all of these, like the email or foreign support or chat support, they could be buried behind a chat bot or question and answer pages. And so you have to go through all these other things, kind of like the multi-tiered phone systems that some companies have that send you in circles. So it's taken all my skills sometimes to find a way to contact an actual support person. So if you have the skills and the abilities to figure out a lot of this stuff on your own, it may be wise to use one of these discount providers because the actual services they provide are good. It's just the main thing I'm emphasizing here is choose a support provider commensurate with your abilities. And if you're just starting out and bootstrapping, having that phone support is well worth it, I believe. So the next thing I wanted to make people aware of when they're preparing to buy a domain name and hosting is affiliate programs. Now, affiliate programs are great. I have recommended people to products that pay affiliate commissions for products that I use and I like and work for me. So, affiliate programs aren't bad, but you need to be aware that some of these hosting providers pay up to $200 if somebody sends a customer to them. So, just be aware of that, and when you're reading about what someone says, make sure that it sounds like that they actually use the product and they know what they're talking about, is all I would say. So enough said on that. So the other thing, I've spent hundreds and probably thousands of dollars over the years on upsells just because I thought I might need them. I didn't know if I really needed them or not. So unless you know you need an upsell that after you're buying the domain name, they may want you to buy some other stuff. If you don't know what all that is, you may want to wait and buy that later once you're sure you need it. Um, Another thing to watch out for, when I bought my um, second domain name and hosting, it showed up in the cart for 2 years. It was hundreds of dollars. I probably could have changed it to 1 year. I've noticed lately some of the domain providers, when you go to buy the domain, they have it defaulted to 4 years. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Um, you can get a domain name for up for 10 years, and it may make sense to buy one for multiple years because usually you'll get a discount if you buy it for more than 1 year at a time. But, unless I'm, you know, rock solid about a certain project and I know I'm going to keep this domain name forever, I usually just buy a domain name for 1 year at a time. Um, so that's something. And if you're bootstrapping a business, every penny counts, and buying it for a year versus 2 years can make a huge difference for your budget as you're first getting started until you can start generating some revenue. Now, in the past, when you bought a domain name, your personal information, phone number, address, and everything went into what's called the WHOIS database. Now, that database still exists, but your personal information isn't shared anymore. Just the register you used and the expiration date of your domain and some other details. But in the past, you could buy what's called privacy or a proxy service, and their information would show up in the Whois database instead of yours. So that was an extra service that that was available. But now, in the United States at least, that information can't be shown in the Whois database unless there's certain domains extensions that do show that information. One of those that I'm aware of is the .us domain, and that is the domain extension for the United States, of course. And I bought a .us extension to use as an email account, and for the first few months I got dozens and dozens of offers by email and phone calls with people trying to sell me websites and stuff. So if you are going to buy certain extensions, just be aware your information could show up in the Whois database, and so it may make sense to buy privacy for one of those. So stay with me, and we'll talk about the next thing, big mistake I made that you can watch out for.